Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your Talking Live forecast update here on your July 28th, 2026. Ooh, it is definitely shaping up to be a very hot day across East Tennessee and North Georgia. We got numerous heat weather advisories out there for the rest of the day. The good news is we're going to back those temperatures off in the days ahead, and we're going to have to watch some thunderstorms as well as we head into the evening hours as we're watching a complex of storms developing up there in Ohio and into Kentucky that are going to be dropping down into the general direction of the south. So we'll watch that here very closely. Now, before we get into this full report, if you're new here to the Talking Live Broadcast Channel's Facebook page, please give us a follow. And if you happen to be watching over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And very importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all our weather updates. All right, let's dive into this edition, shall we? As we're looking at a lot of sunshine and hot temperatures already in the 90s here in Chattanooga. Didn't take long to get there, that's for sure. And it's a sweltering hot day, not only across East Tennessee, but also there in North Georgia as well. Some hazy skies. Definitely a good day to do a little bit of tubing or going to the lake. It is very hot outside, to say the least. Local radar, seeing a few showers out there across East Tennessee up near the Knoxville area, but other than that, it's pretty quiet here in this neck of the woods. But as you look at the regional perspective, again, here's those showers and thunderstorms up there in Kentucky and West Virginia that moved out of Ohio. And these are slated to just roll right down the pike here. And how far east does this get, or to the west does this get? Does it back in or not? That's what we're going to have to watch as these storms develop. It's what we call an MCS. And it's going to be coming down to the south, and it's going to have some very strong gusty winds, heavy rains, and lightning with this here as we go in for this evening. Now, looking at the satellite picture, again, these storms are just getting cranked up right now, so you'll see the explosion here right at the end. So there's our complex of storms right there, just starting to get its act together, and it could be moving in across East Tennessee and North Georgia as we go into the evening hours tonight, but probably before midnight. All right, so looking at your local temperatures, it is plenty hot out there, already into the 90s, 92 degrees area in Chattanooga, and a lot of areas are going to top out into the middle to upper 90s. Those feel like temperatures are going to be quite up there a bit, up near 105, 110 degrees to say the least, and that's why we have these advisories currently out here right now. You see the heat advisories there across Tennessee and North Georgia. The only place you're not getting it are up in the mountains. And this area, as you see here to the there in that yellowish color, well, that right there is basically your severe thunderstorm watch that's up right now. That goes until 8 o'clock. So the question is going to be, does this sneak down into here or not? Will this require a watch or not? Right now, the models indicate that these storms should be on the tail end of their lifespan and should be weakening as they move through, but it's going to be very close. So something we're going to watch here as we go into the late afternoon and into tonight. So let's take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook. We might have some pretty decent downpours with some of those rains. You see that there in the green across East Tennessee and extreme North Georgia. But we are going to be drier for the days ahead. This will shift to the south. So no big rain here looking here for the next couple of days here going into Thursday and Friday. But as we go into Saturday, that changes a little bit as we see the heavy rain chances coming back up to about 15% there in the yellow for parts of northwest Georgia and getting into parts of East Tennessee as well. So something to look out for the weekend. Now, as far as the severe weather is concerned here, all right, so we are looking at a marginal risk here across most of East Tennessee. We do have parts of northeast Georgia under the level 2. So again, the concern with this is going to be the strong gusty winds along the path of wherever these line of storms line up here. So you can see the wind threat will be lower for areas here in East Tennessee and North Georgia, except over there in the yellow zones. That's where it does step up in its categories there as far as the potential wind gusts. So that's going to be the main concern. A little bit of hail also well off toward our east, but that's really not a big deal. It's going to be the wind that's going to be the problem with these storms as they race through, not to mention a lot of lightning as well with the system. So let's get into the models. Let's talk about what we got here going in forward tonight. Let's break this down for you as I got this kind of looping on through. One thing's for certain, once this goes on by, we got nothing here to track really until we get to the weekend. It's going to be the weekend before we see things kind of pick up again with rain. So we're going to have some drier weather. Should also have some, the temperatures will back off a bit here as well. So, all right, let's get this going. Let's watch that timestamp. See the line of storms there racing down to the south. You see erupting some storms there across East Tennessee right 6 o'clock, coming in near the Chattanooga area by 8 o'clock. So you see the storms. But they are forecasts start weakening as they drift to the south. You see the diminishing intensity here for tonight. So, again, these MCS is typically 6 to 8 hours on the length of duration on this. So that does line up pretty well. So, and we're also going to be watching the sun go down. So we'll be watching closely. There might be an isolated severe thunderstorm, maybe a special weather statement or two, but this is going to go by very quickly, And once it does, that'll be it. We're done until we get to Saturday and Sunday with the rain threat. All right, so looking at our weather maps here as we got this front coming on down, and we're going to get some, again, some lower dew points, man. We're going to see some temperatures, I think, in the mountain areas, especially going to drop down into the 50s with this, I think, heading toward Friday especially. And we're going to have some lower humidity. We've got dew points out there right now in the 70s, so it's like air you can wear. If we're talking about dropping down into the 50s and lower 60s, that's going to feel very comfortable. But despite the fact that temperatures are still going to stay relatively warm, it won't feel as hot to your body as we go into the next couple of days. But until then, we're going to deal with 90-73 for tomorrow. So not as hot. We may have some morning clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and the dew points may still be a little elevated early. It may take a little while for it to come down. So maybe later in the day where you start noticing the air kind of drying out here a little bit. So still maybe just a touch steamy to begin with, but not as bad at the end of the day. And looking at your morning lows, you can tell they are still steamy just for the fact that we got temperatures still holding on to the middle to upper 70s. I mean, Lafayette at 77. I mean, 78 in Adairsville, 76 in Saudi Daisy. So that gives you an idea that the air is still got some humidity with it. Now, going into the afternoon, it won't be quite as hot. All right, we're still tracking. This model still popping to 92 there in Chattanooga, so it's a little bit above where I'm going. But you see low 80s over there in the northwest, or the western sections there of North Carolina. So kind of gives you an idea of what's kind of coming at us here. And then as we go into your Wednesday night, going into Thursday morning, they start to back off. Seeing a lot more upper 60s out there, even mid 60s up there in Hiawassee. So that drier air will be coming in and give us a couple of decent days. Thursday and Friday should be looking pretty good. Regionally, again, you're seeing the break in the heat, especially up here in the Carolinas and stuff, and maybe some showers and storms here across Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama here as that front settles on down to the south. So still a little bit on the warm side, but again, not feeling as bad. So I'm not expecting heat advisories in here for tomorrow like we're dealing with today and really for the rest of the week. So 7-day forecast, here we go. This is what we're looking at right now. Dropping into the 80s is not a bad thing in July, not at the end of July. And overnight lows going 66 in there on Friday. That'll feel pretty nice. But then humidity comes back, chances of rain comes back. And it looks like we stay in the 80s with rain chances, and the humidity comes back as well going into Saturday, Sunday, and into early next week. All right, so we got some storms we may need to track tonight, and if you'd like to track along, I have a free weather app for you. Doesn't cost you a dime. You don't have to pay for this. This is free. You can get it at the Apple Store, you can get it at Google Play, put in North Georgia Majestic weather, or you can scan the QR codes there, and you can download this free weather app. The app's going to alert you when there's rain approaching your area. It'll alert you when lightning's nearby, severe weather alerts, hour-by-hour forecast, a great future cast, and if the power goes out, it'll tell you that too. It's got a power outage map as well. So again, this is brought to us by our weather app sponsor, Roof It Forward, out of Woodstock, Georgia. If you're watching in Georgia and you do need a good quality roof, give these guys a call. Great customer service, best quality products, and they give a portion to every job back to local children's charity. It's truly a win-win, and they truly do pay it forward. All right, appreciate you guys checking us out here on this, going to be, I think, a little bit of a busy evening as we watch these storms for us here in the weather office, and we'll make sure we keep you up to date on any changes there. Should be quiet rest of our week, though. That's the good news. Again, appreciate you guys checking us out on the Talking Live broadcast channel. Make sure you give us a follow there on Facebook and over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell to be alerted on all our weather updates. All right, that'll do it for now. Y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.